Hey everybody, so today we are going to talk about Kemal Ataturk, and the outcome for the day is vocabulary. So we're really going to focus on learning the new vocabulary and utilizing that in a lesson. So to do now, I'll just ask you a simple question. Would you be willing to give up parts of your culture or who you are to avoid being outdated? And then just explain why or why not. Why would you be able to give up your culture or parts of who you are, or would you not be willing to? And just explain that. So the terms to know, these are the vocabulary words that we're going to be focusing on. So Kemal Ataturk, right? So who is he? We've been talking about him since yesterday, but who is he? So he was an army officer who founded an independent Republic of Turkey as the Ottoman Empire was falling, right? So the country that we know now as Turkey, he founded that country. He's most well known for making changes to modernize Turkey. So when you're talking about modernizing a country, you're talking about making it like including more technology, right? Kind of doing away with the old way of doing things and starting a new way of doing things. And he was the president of Turkey from 1923 up until 1938 when he passed away. The next term is Westernization. So Westernization is the process of adopting or being influenced by the cultural, economic, or political systems of Europe and North America, right? So normally when we're talking about Westernizing a country, you're talking about normally Asia, right? Asia and Africa are the countries that you talk about Westernizing, right? So anything west of those continents, I'm sorry, not countries, continents, those would be the countries that, the places that would be looked at as Westernizing. Right, so it's like adopting the way that we do things in America, or adopting the ways that they do things in Europe, right? Some people like to think of it as modernizing, right? But part of that is also Westernization. So the image that I included here, you'll see McDonald's, right, which is a Western company, right? It's a Western corporation, was founded in the United States, right? And you'll see that there is Asian lettering, right? So this is an example of Westernization because this is not typically the food that they would eat in Asia, right? But they have adopted some of these Western ideas, right? Food is often looked at as culture. So they adopted something like eating McDonald's into their culture, right? That's a form of Westernization. Secularism is the idea of a nation not being this is a mistake, not being religious or connected to one particular religion, right? So if you look at this image here, it's the idea of separating religion and state. When you say state, you're really talking about the government, right? Or the country that you're in, right? So, for example, in the United States, we don't have an official religion, right? There are people from all different walks of life, all different religions that are here in America, right? So we are a secular country, right? There are more countries that are very, very tied to their religion, right? The person who is in power implements this religion and they enforce their religion. For example, Saudi Arabia, right? Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country and an Arab country. So, everything that they do there is based on their religion. Their laws are based on their religion, right? It's not that way here. So in a secular country, laws are not based off of your religion. And the culture is not based on the religion. So now you're going to watch another EdPuzzle video. Same thing like yesterday, you're going to log in with your EBC email. The video is going to pause and it's going to ask you questions. You'll be asked to answer those questions, and I will get those grades once you are done with watching the video. So your independent work is just for you to use the vocabulary, right? So you're going to read two separate passages, and you're going to answer the questions that go along with the passages. But I do want you to answer in complete sentences, right? So we are doing a lot of sentence work, a lot of writing work. So part of this is answering those questions in complete sentences. Then the last part is for you to make a prediction. Do you think the changes that Kemal Ataturk made in Turkey will do more harm or good to Turkey, right? So is it going to be for the better or for the worse of Turkey? Explain your answer. Use specific examples from the text and the vocabulary from the lesson, right? So this might end up being like about a paragraph or a few sentences, right? I am looking for somewhat of a lengthy response since this is a short lesson, right? So I want you to use terms like Westernization or Westernized, secularism, secularize, right? You can even use the word Western. You can use the word secular, right? You can use this word in different forms to show me that you know what they mean, right? The idea is to show me that you know what these words mean. Since we've read about them, we've learned about them. And for an E level, I want you to show me some examples of Westernization and secularization, outside of Turkey. You can feel free to use the internet to explore these things, right? But I want you to explain how these examples apply, right? When you're looking up different examples of Westernization or secularization, or if you know of any, you don't have to look it up. If you just know of some, you just have that knowledge, you can just write it in. But I want you to be able to explain to me, how are these examples of Westernization and secularization? As always, don't forget to turn in the assignment and feel free to email me or write a private comment if you have any questions.